Hello everyone, my name is John, and I am so excited to have you here with me in my library today. Today is February the 28th as of this recording, 2025, and I just can't believe that this month is almost over. Time has just flown by. But I wanted to kind of wrap up this month's reading, share with you what all I've been reading, and perhaps in another video coming out today or sometime very soon, a kickoff to what we're going to be doing next month. So anyway, let's get right in. This month was Short Fiction February, was what I titled it. It was not all fiction, but it sounded snappier than Short Books February. And I had a lot of fun reading shorter books, shorter novels, children's literature. It was a lot of fun. Truth be told, I didn't read quite as much as I originally envisioned. But of course, things happen. We all are busy. I work full time, and sometimes you just don't have as much time as you think to be able to sit down with a book and read. But I did get my core reading goals done for this month. In one of the first videos on this channel, I kind of listed at the very least what I wanted to be reading every month, and that would be a book of fiction, a book of nonfiction, a Shakespeare play, and a graphic novel of some variety, just to add a little fun and flavor. And so I have done all of that. I just didn't read as much on top of that as I thought I would. But like I said, that's all good. So anyway, let's dig in. Let's see what I've been reading this month. To start with, I need to pull it off my shelf here. And technically, I really read this at the end of January, and I referenced it in my January video, but it was the first book I read specifically for Short Fiction February. It is The Hardy Boys, #1, The Tower Treasure by Franklin W. Dixon, which is a pseudonym for many different writers who wrote these little books. I really enjoyed this book. I think I had said some time ago that I was thinking about making a unique video on this. I think I'm kind of past that now. I don't think that'll make its own video, but I will talk to you a little bit about it here to make up for it. Like I said, it felt like I was going right back to my childhood in reading this little novel. This is, I think I'd read the first probably 6 or 7 as a kid. I didn't read all of them, but there are like 54 to 56 original Hardy Boys books, and then a whole bunch of them on top of that. But I had a lot of fun with it. It it discusses the first ever adventure of the Hardy Boys, Frank and Joe Hardy, who are 2 teenagers who live in an idyllic kind of little town, and their father is a famous detective, and there's a treasure that is stolen from a tower of a manor home in the town, and the servant of the owner of this mansion is accused of the crime. Now, the servant is the father of one of the Hardy Boys' closest friends, and so it's up to the Hardy Boys to get to the bottom of the mystery and to prove their friend's father innocent. Because the friend's father going to jail means that the friend has had to drop out of school and work full time, and he won't be able to go to college or anything like that. And so they're trying to get to the bottom of it to be able to save their family. And so that was a wonderful little story. Didn't take me but like an afternoon to read it. And it one thing I think that was interesting about it that I didn't really remember was it was not a whodunit style mystery. Not quite like Agatha Christie or something like that. You were really following the Hardy Boys along from clue A to clue B to clue C, and who did it at the end was not really a member of the cast that you could have picked out ahead of time. It wasn't like you could solve the mystery before they did. But for a children's story, it was wonderful. So I really enjoyed it. It really took me back to my childhood. And so yes, I read that late January for this reading event. I also read, my fiction pick of this month was The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. I read it here on my iPad through the Delphi Classics Complete Works of Leo Tolstoy. Loved it. Loved it, loved it. I will refer you to a video I made a couple weeks ago on the death of Ivan Ilyich. It's a good video. I was really very proud of it. And like I said, I really enjoyed it, but you'll have to go watch that video for more thoughts on this book. Another book I read, it was my nonfiction pick, was a history. It is Socrates, A Man for Our Times by Paul Johnson. I picked it because it was short and it was on my shelf. I already had it sitting on the shelf. And this one I have less favorable things to say about. I've actually had several takes of this because I keep flubbing my words as to exactly how I feel about it, but I would hate to misrepresent the beliefs and thoughts of the author, Paul Johnson. I would not want to do that at all. But I honestly think it was probably my own fault for choosing a book on a topic that I don't think we can know that much about. And here's what I mean. What we know about Socrates basically comes from Plato. And Plato, who I have the complete works of Plato up here on my shelf actually, and I've read many of his dialogues. Plato had a bad habit of putting his own ideas into Socrates' mouth. And so one of the big mysteries of history is, who was the real Socrates? What did he think? What did he believe? What parts can you divorce from Plato? Because Plato had a lot of in my personal opinion, out there ideas, stuff that couldn't really be verified, beliefs on the soul and the world of forms, and there are many videos that could explain these things in a way that I probably can't. But whereas Socrates appears to have been a more grounded figure who is more interested in asking questions. What do we really understand about the world around us? In the beginning of the Republic that Plato writes, I think we see a more genuine Socrates. It's a Socrates that is asking questions about what justice is, and everyone tries to answer, and they try to be very smart. But the more Socrates asks questions, the more the individuals around him realize that they know less than they think that they do. That the foundation of their knowledge that they base everything on is weaker than they had originally envisioned. But this ended up being about 180 pages. That the line between Plato and Socrates is really blurry, and I feel like Paul Johnson spent 180 pages speculating, trying to modernize Socrates' beliefs to the present day, and I don't think it did it for me. So again, it was probably my fault for choosing a book about a topic I don't think you can know that much about. And in my personal opinion, it's better to, you can speculate a little bit, but if there's something that you can't know, even through speculation, unless we figure out something way different, I don't know that it bears the thought of 180 pages of the discussion. Anyway, that being beside the point, wasn't my personal favorite. I hope I'll enjoy next month's nonfiction read, and I hope that makes sense. I really do. Now for my Shakespeare play, I read Macbeth. I enjoyed it. It was wonderful. I've enjoyed it more than any other time I've ever read Macbeth. I thought it was just wonderful. And I got so excited about how much I loved Macbeth that I actually read The Tempest as well. So I read 2 Shakespeare plays this month. I don't know whether The Tempest counts for March or whether it doesn't, but I imagine I'll probably read another Shakespeare play anyway, just for the fun of it. Because of how much I was just blown away by The Tempest. I thought it was just wonderful. And so I would expect a video on The Tempest to come up at some point over the next month or so. like I said, I thought it was just brilliant. So I'm excited about my Shakespeare. So I've read 2 Shakespeare plays. For the one about Macbeth, I would refer you to the video I posted a week or 2 ago as of this video. About Macbeth. It was a good video. I was really happy with it. So I hope that you would consider checking it out. So I read those 2 plays this month for my Shakespeare selection. And for my graphic novel this month, I read digitally. I don't have a physical copy of this. I read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King. Excuse me if I mispronounce, Bilquis Evely and Matthias Lopez. Sorry. So it was a probably like an 8-issue miniseries that I thought was just a lot of fun. I think the artwork was just beautiful. The story was well put together. Only thought I had about it was that I don't know that Supergirl has a super strong characterization throughout her whole publishing history. In the Silver Age, when she was introduced in the late 50s, you know, she was very like many you know, good guy, you know, just fighting for the law and justice, and her voice would be interchangeable with any other superhero. Here she's depicted as very hard edge, doesn't take a lot from anybody, and I think that's perfectly fine. It just was not quite what I had imagined whenever I started, so I just don't know that she has the voice that's, like, say, Superman has had, where you can read something and go, that's Superman, or that's not Superman. I don't think she has that. So it just took me a little bit to get into her kind of hard-edged kind of persona in this text. Anyway, that being said, the only other thing I've read this month, and I'm still technically in the middle of it, I'll probably finish it today or tomorrow. I was inspired by Michael K. Vaughan and his channel to start with a Conan the Barbarian story. I've never read any of those before, but he just rants and raves about them. He just loves them very much, and so I was inspired to pick up a ebook copy of Conan the Barbarian, and I have been reading The Queen of the Black Coast. It's the first one I started with, and I thought that was just a heck of a lot of fun so far. I don't have anything else to say about it right now, other than that it's not that long, so I'll probably finish it up today. But yes, I just have had a fun time with that. Anyway, those are my reads this month. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll catch me for the next one. If you're so inclined, liking and subscribing this would be very helpful for me. I would be very much appreciated, but I appreciate you being here with me either way. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and thank you very much.